in a small coastal town where the sea whispered secrets to the shore, there lived a group of fishermen who gathered every evening at the docks. Among them was Mira, a young woman known for her quiet demeanor but restless heart. Life had been tough lately. Her nets often came up empty, the market prices were low, and she felt a growing void inside. She wasn't alone in her struggles. The other fishermen shared similar woes, their faces etched with worry under the dim glow of the setting sun. One evening, an elderly woman named Elara joined their gathering. She wasn't a fisherman, but a lantern maker. Her hands skilled from years of crafting light for the town. Sensing the heaviness in the air, Elara smiled and said, "Tonight, let's try something different. I've brought something for each of you." She handed every fisherman a small unlit paper lantern along with a piece of chalk. "Write your name on it," she instructed. "This lantern is yours." Mira scribbled her name on the soft paper, as did the others: Old Tom, Cheerful Lena, Gruff Sam, and the rest. Once they were done, Elara collected the lanterns and placed them in a large woven basket. She shook the basket gently, mixing them up, then set it in the center of the group. "Now," she said, her eyes twinkling, "go find your lantern." "You have 2 minutes." The fisherman hesitated, then dove in. Hands reached into the basket. Lanterns were tossed aside, and voices overlapped in a chaotic hum. Mira pushed through, scanning for her name, but the pile seemed endless. Tom grumbled as he accidentally crumpled Lena's lantern. Sam shoved past, clutching one that wasn't his. 2 minutes passed, and only a few had found theirs. Most stood empty-handed, frustrated. Elara clapped her hands, calling them back. "Let's try again," she said. "But this time, pick any lantern you find and give it to its owner. Don't look for your own. Just help someone else." The group exchanged glances, unsure, but they agreed. Mira reached in first, pulling out a lantern with "Lena" written in bold chalk. She handed it to Lena, whose face lit up with a grin. Tom found Sam's and tossed it over with a chuckle. Sam passed one to old fisherman Pete. One by one, the lanterns moved through the circle, each exchange sparking a smile or a quiet "thank you." In less than a minute, Mira felt a tap on her shoulder. Lena held out her lantern, beaming. "Found yours," she said. Mira looked around. Every fisherman now held their own lantern, and the docks buzzed with laughter. Elara stepped forward, her voice soft but firm. "Do you see? When you chased your own light, you stumbled over each other. But when you sought to brighten someone else's night, your own light found its way back to you." She handed each of them a candle to place inside their lanterns. Happiness works the same way. Share it, and it returns. That night, the fishermen lit their lanterns and released them into the sky. The glowing dots floated above the sea, a constellation of shared joy against the darkening horizon. Mira watched hers rise, feeling lighter than she had in months. She realized the void she'd felt wasn't from empty nets or tough days. It was from chasing her own happiness alone. The next day, something shifted in the town. Mira shared her extra fish with Tom, who'd had a slow morning. Lena mended Sam's torn net without being asked. Pete left a basket of clams at Elara's door. Small acts rippled through the docks. And soon, the fishermen weren't just surviving. They were thriving. Not because the sea had changed, but because they had. Their evenings became gatherings of stories and warmth, not just complaints. Months later, Mira stood by the shore, a lantern in her hand. She'd made it herself this time, writing not just her name, but the names of her friends too. As she lit it and let it soar, she smiled. Ilara had been right. Happiness wasn't a prize to chase. It was a gift to give, and in giving, it grew. This lesson wasn't just for the fishermen, it's for all of us, young or old, near the sea or far from it. When we stop clutching at our own joy and start lighting the way for others, we find our own skies glowing brighter than ever.